History is written by those who understand the power of timing. And today, that truth applies more to the BRICS nations than ever before. Because BRICS is no longer just an economic forum on paper, it has quietly transformed into a financial force capable of challenging the decades-long dominance of the US dollar. And the last few weeks delivered three major developments that have shaken the global financial world. A major signal came from India's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, RBI. According to reports, the RBI has reduced its exposure to US dollars and US Treasury bonds and increased its investments in gold. This isn't normal portfolio balancing. It's a strategic move that shows India wants to lower its dependence on dollar-based assets. India doesn't openly declare de-dollarization, but its actions are beginning to speak louder than words. Russia has gone even further. Its deputy prime minister recently confirmed that 95% of Russia-China trade no longer uses the US dollar. Instead, both nations now rely almost entirely on the yuan and the ruble. This is the same Russia that once depended on the dollar for its oil exports. Now it trades with China almost entirely outside the US financial system. And the shift doesn't stop there. India and Russia also conduct the majority of their transactions in local currencies, rupees, rubles, and sometimes yuan. Russia's state agency TASS even stated that 90 to 95% of Indo-Russian trade is now based on local currencies. How did this become possible? Because the RBI created an efficient framework called the Vostro account system, which allows two countries to settle trade without touching the dollar. Example: if an Indian company buys $100 worth of goods from Russia, it pays the amount in rupees to an Indian bank like SBI. That money is credited to a special Vostro account for the Russian exporter. When Russia later buys something from India, the same rupees are used. No dollar. No currency exchange swings, no dependency. This single mechanism accelerated de-dollarization more than anything else, and then comes China, the biggest disruptor to US financial influence. According to the Financial Times, China has increased yuan-based global lending to $480 billion. This is unprecedented. For the first time ever, countries are borrowing in yuan on a massive scale. The yuan has now become the world's second largest currency for global lending, surpassing the euro and the Japanese yen. The Bank for International Settlements reports that since 2022, many loans that were traditionally issued in dollars or euros have shifted into yuan. Nations are buying yuan-denominated bonds instead of US bonds. In simple terms, where the dollar once dominated, the yuan is beginning to take its place. South Africa delivered another shock. It converted its US dollar loans into yuan, and its central bank is now repaying around 2.1 billion yuan instead of dollars. And South Africa won't be alone. Countries like Brazil, Indonesia, and even Saudi Arabia are showing increasing interest in yuan-based lending. This isn't just economics. This is a shift in global power dynamics. Nations don't want to be fully dependent on one currency anymore, not even on the US dollar, which has been the backbone of global trade for nearly 80 years. BRICS has evolved. India set the direction. Russia pushed the momentum. China supplied the engine.